Hello guys. Yeah. As always, we're on part 27 now. You know the drill. Just going to continue working on this. I think today, it's not going to be the last day of working groom, but it's going to be the last day of working groom consecutively. I'm going to try to work on the front view, get this hairline working a bit, get the additional grooms kind of here working, and hopefully fix the top braids. I'm going to want to get back into model and texture tweaks. Because obviously when I was making this model, I primarily matched the high res ref, which is cropped, and I matched it as close as I could, but obviously like now we're looking at the whole image, and it's not matched to the lower res ref. I'm gonna like move more towards that. So basically this is our latest render. We did this at the end of, well, I did this last night. Also after this stream we're going back to normal for a little while, so I won't be streaming tomorrow. I'll be streaming on Thursday. But yeah, so this is our render from last night, and then that is, let's shift F, that's our ref. So obviously there's a few issues that we can't fix, so like the size of the skull is just it's a bit too late now to fix that. If I did that, I'd have to rebuild a lot of stuff. So that might prevent us from doing this stuff, potentially. I'm like looking at it now with clear eyes, like it would be really difficult to get the gaps in this without there being skull there. I've done a render at a different angle to kind of show, so we actually do have the gaps like working quite nicely. It's just because the skull volume is just not the same. It's not going to come out the same way. Obviously, if this is production, you'd immediately go back and fix that. But it's just something that, yeah, it's just given too many issues, and it would break more stuff than it fixes to fix it now. But yeah, so generally speaking, the flows are matching. Things are generally going in the same direction. The area that doesn't match the most at the moment is this bit just here. So you got this clump that's going backwards, and then if I shift F switch ref, so this clump right here going back, this one's going more sideways. So I need to twist that a little bit. I also need to add more density at the front here, because this is getting a bit too broken up. I also need to add more width to the lower eyelashes, which is something I'll do pretty quickly. Yeah, and then obviously we got a bunch of model changes, so I'm going to do the model changes in the next stream, I think. That's primarily moving the eye. I don't think the brow needs to be moved. I think it's the eyebrow groom that needs to be moved here. But yeah, so jaw is pretty much dead on. It's a bit wide here potentially. This cheek's a little bit wide. It is obviously in the wrong place, and eyes are the wrong size, so we'll be twisting that a bit. This eye in general needs to move more to the center of the face and then just look out more, and that will help a bit more the likeness as well. And the nose is a little bit too big, so I'm gonna have to kind of shift things around a little bit, I think, which obviously ideally we would have done before. Hey Ian, how you doing? Ideally we would have done that before we started grooming, but yeah, it's something we can fix now. Well, we can fix in the next stream. Or maybe it is worth fixing. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth fixing the model today or doing the groom today? There's 3 of you watching. Because looking at it, I'm kind of thinking, would the model make more of a difference? And then if I'm going to be rebuilding a few of the top grooms anyway, why not do it, you know, after fixing this? The difficulty I've got with the skull volume is that it matches on this side but not this side, so that kind of makes it difficult to tell, okay, what exactly is going on, like why is it not working. I think I might do the model actually, which means I'll have to edit the post on Facebook. 1 second guys, edit post. On the model. Cool. Yeah, so model would be cool. Yeah, so I guess we can go through and do that. It's just a case of moving things around. We need to bend the earrings and move everything around. I don't know how much guidework this is going to break, so I'm going to probably select all the guides for the whole groom and convert them to curves, just so we got a backup of them. And then we can match stuff up a bit more closely. It's not a perfect match. Like some of these earrings, for example, like this earring is a lot wider than the one that's on my render. like you can see it in this, like the earrings are the wrong width, this one's facing down more. So maybe we can do a bit of that stuff today. Just fix the model. So let's do that. So we're going to leave the groom alone. We're also going to need to lower this shoulder, drop the shoulder a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to Alt save this, Control Alt save. And then I guess the best thing to do is just delete action from the scene. And then save this again, but in the model folder. So put this up here. MF's luck. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're both green model. Yeah, also welcome to the stream, MF. Don't think I've seen you here before. So yeah, welcome to the series. So we're gonna need our ref cam. And we're gonna need to hide this. We don't need any of this stuff for now. So I guess the best thing to do for now is just to brute force everything into place. So let's go into where is it? Camera tools, 2D pan zoom, got that eventually. Shading, X-ray. So we're gonna hide the jewelry because that's not gonna help us. We're gonna hide. Do we hide the eyes? Let's hide the temp group. And I guess we should hide the eyes. So this is where it gets tricky because this looks like it's lined up to me. No, actually you can see it's not lined up. Alright, cool. So let's just grab that. So the aim of the game today is to literally brute force this into place. And do we have view tools? Is it out of place on the other side as well? I think it is. So let's just grab a whole loop of the eye. Something like that. Let's do it in this view actually. What I'm going to do is select every other edge loop, just because that will do the best job at selecting basically everything. And then just do you don't need to select every face to move every face, because what you're moving is the vertices, not the faces. So as long as I do that, and make sure nothing else is selected, so that will move all of them the same. So let's just move that over like that. Right, what I'm going to do before I do all this, duplicate this. I'm just going to call this groom mesh. Oh, I've lost it. Oh no, I've still got it, cool. So we can compare the differences after. So we're going to need to keep checking our reference as well. So that eye moving is the main thing. That makes quite a big difference. The mouth isn't far off, but it is worth fixing. So let's go into that now. So view. Don't know why that disappeared. it's because I keep killing them. Right, so let's go into this. I need to select their camera as well. There we go. Bit easier to read. So, what we can do well, this could work quite well. Working like this. So I need to undo that and set this to volume. So let's go soft select and set it to volume. So we can just move this down to match. And then do the same over here. So this entire section needs to move down actually. Cool. This needs to move down a little bit as well. This lip needs to move down a little bit. I have a sneaking suspicion this is already fine, but I'm going to move it out anyway. Something like that. Right, nose. What was wrong with the nose? The right side looks like it needs to be pushed in a little bit. View, image tools. To the ref cam and solo that. So what I'm going to have to do here is going to get really tricky. Where's the silhouette? Is that the silhouette? I think that is. So what we're going to need to do is something like this. Because it's shadowing on itself and I don't know if there's a way to... oh, actually maybe backface culling can do that. No, backface culling. So I'm trying to find a way to get X-ray to not stack on itself. But if I... is there a way for me to hide that? Oh, I can literally just hide the faces. Perfect. That's actually already matching pretty closely. The middle of the mouth needs to go up actually. You can also get rid of this. Right. And what was up with the left eye? So this needs to be pulled in a little bit. So let's go into View, Camera Tools. So the end of it should be there, and it's instead there. So that's actually quite a big difference. The eye doesn't quite line up either, does it? Although not in the way I'd expected. So when we're using the low res ref, we don't really have much choice, but it's not ideal reference. See, technically this doesn't line up, but it feels like it does in a render, so... Actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. So we've got that in place. So let's try doing a render of this. Maybe we should put the subsurface on there. Although the eyes are a lot closer match now. Let's get the skin on there though. What am I doing? Oh, it's still fixing. Alright, so actually we have to go all the way to the end. Oh, it's still got all the things on it. That's a bit of an issue, maybe. I've just got a message, 1 second, guys. Alright, so turn that off, turn that on, start you again, and also let's we may need to do a bit of work with the eyes now, specifically this one, in that it won't fit anymore, so let's just move that over, and then we're going to need to match the eye up again, so let's just where is he? Oh, wrong thing, shading, sorry. And then we need to go into our ref cam again. Perfect. Cool. That's a bit closer. And we'll need the caruncle mesh as well. So the meniscus we're going to need to hide. That's going to be completely destroyed. So let's give this a test render. I'm also going to switch to 4 panels. One can be ref cam, one can be render cam, one can be perspective. Well, this one can be rendered back just in case we want to check it, and then this one can be perspective, which it is. Okay, so let's do an IPR with that. Also going to delete that because it's super bright. So obviously we'll need to ignore the absence of a groom. Clean up for a little bit. I feel like the bottom right eyelid is too thick. Also the caruncle is a bit too big. And the left eye still needs to go in more. Not much more though. Yeah, I think the whole shape still needs to move. Although the eyelid itself might not be far off, so I think it's just this little section here needs to move up a little bit. And then the eye needs to be adjusted. I need to fix the eyelid. Alright, so let's do that. Just gonna do this so I can just space into them. Where's the head geo in here? Why can't we see polygons? Oh, wait, what? When did I do that? Shading, X-ray. Keep forgetting where it is. There we go. Then we can hide the eyes again. Hide the, in fact, hide the whole temp group as well. Let's turn off selection highlighting. So that left eye still needs to move further to the left, doesn't it? Which I'm not sure how possible that is. I can't go further than that because otherwise I start to show the inside of the eye. And the caruncle. The caruncle will need to move as well. So actually needs to stop about there. And we need to pull this in. Not much in this case. So let's not do that. Just inflate that in a little bit. Okay, let's test that. And let's alt save while we're at it. Let's drag you down to, wait. Come on, move. I don't like how precise you have to be with this. That's a bit closer. It's the ear that's going to give you the most issues. Does the eye still need to go further back? I feel like it needs to be literally pushed backwards for it to work. So I'd have to do the same with both eyes on that one. So let's grab both of them. Because depth of the eye is obviously can be asymmetrical, but I don't think it would be as asymmetrical as position of the eye. And this still needs to go back and in a little bit. So that's lined up technically. And what's this side like? That side's way off now. When did that happen? I've got a feeling that now this will look absolutely crazy. Like the eye divergence will just look insane now, I've got a feeling. Yep. That's so funny looking. Okay, so let's undo that. Okay, and let's just do an IPR with that, because that was just too distracting. I'm going to delete these guys because they're irrelevant now. I'm also going to delete this because we don't need it, and that 'cause it's irrelevant too. I'm actually getting the getting the progress render would be quite helpful. Although maybe we should go to before we did groom, because the model's not changed. So there's groom. So this will be the same model, texture and shader and everything. Let's put that there. Actually, let's change the order of those. Yeah, so that's actually way off. Why did I move forward onto groom with that? So now, I'm going to try to match the eye rotation by the renders and not by the reference cam, because apparently the reference cam is way off. Although I'm wondering, is lens distortion a factor here? Like, is one of the issues we're having the fact that the camera will be a very subtly different lens? Either way, the eye needs to move quite a lot, or the iris even. That's also too much of a bump. That this entire section of the eye needs to shrink. But that's worse though. So let's try to match that eye up. So how much does it need to change? I'd say about 4 degrees that way. Maybe 5 degrees that way. And then does the other one need to change at all? It needs to move in slightly. Really not much though. This one's a lot closer now. In fact, I'd go as far now to say that one's a match. At least at this level of cleanliness. So let's fix that eye, shall we? So it still needs to go up just a tiny bit. And it needs to go left a tiny bit more, although I think that just went too far on the up. Somewhere like there, so let's IPL that. Delete this guy. Oh, that's getting close now. I'm just going to let this clean up for a sec so I can get a really nice comparison, and I'm going to get some water while I do it. I'll be back in 1 second, guys. It's looking promising. It's looking more accurate than it did. That's always progress. I have no idea how much I'm going to need to rebuild the Grim, because X-Gen is known for how bad it is for that sort of shit. That's looking pretty promising though. I think the eye colour, part of that is meniscus, so that's fine. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What is F? Is it luminance? That's helpful. Shift F is what I wanted. So it looks like the eyes are matching now. I think the caruncles are matching. We just need to texture variation on them, and also we need to add the meniscus again. Then this is still slightly too big, so I need to push the corner of this eye in and push that down. That needs to be flatter. So let's do that. Also, this corner of the eye, top left eyelid is a little bit too low. It's looking promising though. Better than, oh. Just move that down. Yeah, that's a bit better. So let's fix that inner corner. So this needs to come down just a tiny bit. And this needs to go that way. Not that face though. Need a bigger, like that, I think. Up here. I always like to get a little bit of context. That'll do. I need to convert this to a 2K image so I can zoom in on it. That's a lot closer now though. That right eye, her right, our left. The iris needs to be a tiny bit bigger, doesn't it? And rotated more to the side. Annoyingly, the pupil's in exactly the right position, so that means that we're going to need to adjust the model for the iris itself to add some asymmetry, because like it's oversimplification to put the pupil dead in the center of the iris, because it's actually not dead in the center. It's normally like a little bit to the side. It's asymmetrical. So I'm going to make that just a tiny bit bigger, which we can do with the UVs. So, because of the way I like to set up my eyes. So let's go into UV editor. So we need it to be a tiny bit smaller. That might even be enough. And then we're going to need to rotate that eye very slightly outwards. Something like that. And then let's IPR that. And then once we've got that positioned the way we want, so let's R that. That may have been too little of a difference. Oh, it's close though. I actually guessed the rotation almost perfectly, which is a nice surprise. But it's not close enough, it still needs to be a little bit bigger. Then as we make it bigger, it's going to extend into the bottom as well, so we need to move it up too, which is something I didn't consider. Amateur hour. Cornea, UV. So we need to make it oh so slightly bigger, which means scaling this down again. That was too much. That might have been the same, but let's just give it a go. And we're going to need to rotate that eye very slightly up and very slightly, come on, out. IPR. This is where subtlety comes in, right? So if I put this directly below, so this is now a lot closer. Maybe a match? It's a bit off in the corners there, which means it still needs to go a tiny bit bigger and then rotate up. But that's what it was. Like, it's barely moved. Like, barely moved at all. And it's slightly bigger, but again, to such a small degree. That's all it takes. Like, legitimately, that is it. That's all it takes. Eyes are so difficult to get right. Hey, Oscar. Oh, Oscar, I checked out the song that you sent. It's really beautiful, man. I like it a lot. Thank you for sending it. The flute one, if you're struggling to remember exactly which one you sent. So, we got that. So what's the next thing? The iris needs to move, doesn't it? Oh, and the upper eyelid needs to move. Hey, little man, how you doing? So yeah, we need to move this up just a tiny bit. Not much, literally just like half a centimetre. So let's grab you. And just do something like that. Same with you. That might be enough. Let's line up the ears. This is the one I've been dreading. So it's going to mean that I need to move all the jewellery too. Let's go one problem at a time. So I don't want to affect too much of the head. I also need to set this back to surface. Soft selection, surface. Let's pull that down. That's in about the right place. That's in about. So why do these look like they're in the right place in here, but in render they look nowhere close? Oh, it's this bit, isn't it? That's way off. Why is there actually a 20-second delay in the stream? I mean, you are in London, it shouldn't take that long to reach Germany. I don't know. I can check. No, there's transitions. Settings, let me check. Stream general. Output. Video bitrate, no. Video, nope. Advanced. No, there is a stream delay in there of 20 seconds, but it's not enabled. So it shouldn't be a factor. I think it's just YouTube systems being a bit slow, to be honest. This is the one that's really far off. This here is the one that makes me nervous. Closer, but still not there. This cheekbone needs to come in a little bit. So let's IPL that. I'm going to let this render out in full. God, I'm gonna have to fix so much of the groom. I mean, the topologies in the UV is not going to change, so it's not going to have a huge effect. It's more just the guides that are going to freak out and not know what to do. Because the normals of the mesh below them will have changed because the mesh has moved, and even the subtlest difference changes the normal quite a lot, relatively speaking, obviously. Right. So the top of the ear still isn't right. It's the side of the head. I was just like, do I want to fix that? Because I can. It's just so difficult. Like, the amount of rework that I'll need doing. And I've kind of put myself in this situation. So that's just a case of how professional do I want to look. Do I want to look really professional and see it through, or do I just want to get it done? Also, that neck's nowhere near correct. Look at that, that's way off. Jesus. Why did I ever think that was okay? So neck is the next thing. The next thing. Yeah. I know, I'm funny. Right, let's fix the neck. I think the jaw lines up pretty well. Let's check that. Yeah, that lines up. That bit doesn't. Right. Yep, neck. So. It looks like it's probably quite far off in this, to be fair. Yeah, it is. Alright, cool. So, time to match the neck. It'll be this bit right here. So let's grab you and just go yoink. That feels immediately more natural. What about the other side? The other side is too narrow. I guess that's from the posing. So let's just pull that out like that. Then we need to grab you, pull you up, and you need to come way down. I mean, quite a lot down for you. And then on this side, the trap is slightly flared, which makes sense because she's pulling her head that way. So let's size that down and do that. It's not perfect, but it's something. Need this side to flare up as well. Let's just inflate on you. Hey Kosi, how you doing? It's nice to see familiar names joining. I feel like I need to relax the sterno a little bit. There we go. Great to sculpt along and learn. Cool. I'm not always convinced that learning from me is a good idea, to be honest, but I'm glad you enjoy them. Alright, so we need the head to come out. I think that's just a bit too far back, isn't it? So let's pull that out. And we're going to need to relax that quite a bit. Right, so we should do a test render of this IPR, and let's just move the reference again. If anyone from the Render Man development team ever sees this video, and I doubt that will ever happen, but if you ever see this video, please make it easier to reorder images. You have to be way too precise with the placement of an image for it to actually put it there. So the cheekbone behind here needs to go in a bit because it's obstructing too much of the ear. What CPU do you use? I use a Ryzen 3950X, so the 16-core 32-thread thing. I got it when it's brand new, so I've literally got a first gen one, which isn't ideal all the time. I need to do quite a bit of smoothing once I finish this. I think that's more accurate. It's really hard to see. This cheek needs to come in just a tiny, tiny bit. About there, I think. Did I start a new render? I didn't, did I? I know it looks like I'm rendering constantly, but it's because I don't entirely trust my viewport camera. And the renders don't take long, so to get something that's moderately clean. So I think this actually lines up correctly, but the lighting is off. Like, the shadows are a lot deeper, a lot more red, which obviously partially is the shader issue. Oh, didn't mean to do that. But I think mostly it's lighting, because you can also see it here, like the background is quite red here. There's like a red hue on this side. It actually ends here, so it must be not a light, but something that's quite reflective and red on the side. But obviously my lighting is, you know, just dead, basically, in comparison. This still needs to come in more? Oh no, okay. I'm looking at the wrong side. That's a lot closer. It's amazing how the tiniest changes make quite a big difference. Now I've got to figure out, is that the jaw? The jaw is too low, isn't it? Yeah, here, the jaw is too low. Looks fine on that side though. So is that her just having a slack jaw, or is that actually just an asymmetry of her face? Let's kill that and look at the jaw. I went completely into autopilot for a second then, and my autopilot just crashed into a mountain. Right, so let's get you. Yeah, you can see it there. So the question is, does the jaw need to go up or in? I think in. Because it matches from the side view if I remember correctly. So I'm just going to grab it and move it in. Like that. And that visually will be the same as moving some of it up. Technically we should do that on both sides. So let's go into symmetry mode around topology. So symmetry, topo, do that. And then let's just grab, is it you and you, and just go like that. But then we need to move it up here. There we go. Turn symmetry mode back off. And again, back into the render. I'm also going to limit my CPU usage. Just because I'm aware that if I'm constantly starting and ending renders, it's going to get a little bit unstable for the stream. So let's just set affinity to this. I'm going to turn off a few CPU cores. Not many, I think just 4 or so. Yeah, turn off 3 cores there. 6 threads, even. Technically not turning off cores. Let's... subtle difference, but I like it. The nose is the next thing I want to get right. I think the eyes are about right. I'll leave the eyes alone now. They're definitely a lot closer than that. It's amazing how sometimes you just have to stop being a bit of a bitch about something and just match it, regardless of whether or not you think it's accurate. So I need to move this bit out according to that side, although it is a very asymmetrical, so I'm not too worried about doing that symmetrically. This inner corner still needs to go in a little bit. Not much, like, it's right in the corner of it now, and now, is it shading? Oh no, it's just the bottom bit. It's literally just that bit needs to go up. So let's grab you. I feel like I went a bit too low poly over here. Let's do... So it's going on the nose. I feel like almost the whole nose needs to move to the left. Except from the furthest point of the nostril. So let's just do that. Just grab the whole nose and move it very slightly left. So it feels like it's leaning right now. Let's just do something like this. Literally just grabbing key points and then gonna use a large what's the word I'm looking for? Use a large fall off on the soft select, something like that. Just nudge it that way. Fine for a second. Did I start preview render? There it is. I need to check that against you. So it has moved, I was just too subtle with it. Okay, let's kill that render. Go into this again. And just be way more abrupt. Try that. Hopefully I've gone too far, which is normally a good thing if you go too far, because then you can just, you know, go halfway between what you just did. Looks like it might have been right though. Oh, I keep forgetting I can't zoom in. So now if we get rid of this and compare the whole image to just gotta let this refine for a few minutes. I need to go get a refill of water. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about with this, or? I'll give you guys a minute. I'm just gonna go fill up the rest of my water. There we go. It's changed quite a lot. It's really changed a lot. The eye is a lot closer. So it's just the ears now. The ears and the top of the head and the mouth, actually. Might add the jewellery back in. It does give some quite helpful context. And as you guys know, I'm obsessed with context. I've got many obsessions with CG art, actually. Let's just show jewelry. I'm not going to move it, I'm just going to show it. Where the fuck is it? There it is. So all the earrings are going to be way off, I think. But let's do a test render with that. RPR. So now's where I can start bending the earrings into place, because they're visibly not perfect. Like, they're quite bent. Can you explain what you mean by context? So, context, I use it in the exact same way you would with history, with literature, with anything really. So when I say context, what I mean is visual context. If I was to show you a picture of a leaf, and then was to show, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. If I was to show you a picture of, oh god, what can I think an example of? And to be fair, I do overuse the word as well. It's something I'm aware of. Try not to use it as much as I do. But what would be a good example of how to use visual context? If anyone else in the chat knows what I mean and like could type it, that'd be cool. What would be the best way to word it? Well, we can actually see the other earring now. One of the earrings was lost to time. This guy, he was missing. But now I can see him. Yeah, anyway. Context. What is the best way to explain it? Wonder if I can make the leaf analogy work. So, if I was to show you a leaf, like just a render of a leaf, you might think it looks really good. But then if I put that one leaf in a branch of, like, you know, if I put it on a back plate where it's got real leaves there, now you've got context as to what it should look like, or other things that help frame it. So if you put it in ref, you'd immediately see what all the issues are. But even if you put it on a branch with other CG leaves, something would start to feel off, because you're now seeing a whole image. You're seeing an image that your brain is used to seeing. Like, everyone's been outside and seen a tree, but not everyone's, like, I mean, a lot of people, but not everyone's picked up an individual leaf and really focused on it for any length of time. Normally you see leaves in a bunch, you don't see them individually. So when you see a render of one individual, you're like, oh yeah, that's a leaf, and then you move on. But you don't necessarily call on your whole kind of visual library. So when I say context, I'm trying to think of a way. It's the best word I know, and I'm shit at English, despite it being my only language. It's the best word I know to describe wanting more information around the thing I'm focusing on. Because, I mean, even within this, if I was to now kill this render and start a render again of just let's say just this section, like we just want to see the tip of the nose. Fuck, I need to restart that. I'm just going to wait for this. There we go. So, if I was just working on tip of the nose, so obviously this image tells me everything I need. This has all of, thanks for the context. God fucking damn it, Ian. But yeah, this is just a visual way of showing it. So, I'm working on the nose. I'm working on the nostrils. This looks okay to me. Then I see it with the whole face. Now I can start to see the issues. Like, just doing that, it's masking everything around it that can give you information, because humans aren't machines. We don't learn, I mean, I'm no neuropsychologist or anything, I'm not an expert on this, but my theory on it is, like, we don't learn exact shapes, we learn shapes in relation to other shapes, if that makes sense. So I can look at this and think, yeah, that's a nose. I can look at this and think, oh, maybe this should line up differently. Like, you've got more reference points to look at, and that's another use of the word context that I always say. I hope that makes sense. So I am obsessed with context. It's probably like a word that my girlfriend's hear way too much. But yeah, it's helpful. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, it's helpful to have more information. Right, so now I kind of want to model the jewelry, but at the same time I want to get the ears done and start putting the groom back on this, because ideally I want the end of session render to have hair again, which might be broken, but maybe it won't be, who knows. So mouth is in the wrong place still. This corner is too bent, it needs to be straight pretty much. So let's do that first. That's really interesting on those two. It looks super real when you take out the context of the rest of the image of the face. Yeah, that's the thing. Humans are really, really shit at actually knowing how something looks. We are awful at it. If anyone has a perfect eye, they probably still can't tell you what's wrong with something if you zoom in really close and black out everything that could help. Whether it's a leaf, whether it's a wave, whether it's a rock, it doesn't matter what it is. We really rely on a whole image to put, 2 and 2 together and make 4, We can't just look at something and know it's right. We need other things to help tell us it's right. So what was that? What to do? Oh, the mouth. So this needs to be straight, which it is straight. So why the fuck is that an issue? I hope the displacement's not doing chaos. Let's go to the render cam. It is a little bit bent there, to be fair. It's just a case of finding the, yeah, there's the angle. Set that to volume. Yeah, just to reiterate though, I definitely overuse the word context. Like, that is something 100% I'm guilty of. Right, so this corner needs to go up, and the top lip needs to go up slightly. So my posture right now is the absolute worst. Oh, that tooth is way off. It's also not retopologized. Let's fix that. But yeah, now that I've pointed all that stuff out, do you understand my obsession with it? Or is that something that's still a bit like, yeah, you're going too far? That needs to be set to surface. Top lip needs to go up. So let's just grab you over to you. Just do that, I guess. Maybe it needs to be a bigger region. Is there anything else wrong with it? It's this way. It needs to move that way. It's going to be super interesting to see how different, because I duplicated the model at the start, because I knew there'd be quite a big difference by the time we're done. It's one of those things where there's 1,000 tiny little adjustments. The teeth are in the right place now. the lower part of both ears needs to go down. Again. Yeah, it's got a big difference. I understand why you'd be obsessed with it. I need to apply the same sentiment to my own work. Yeah, and that's the thing, like my obsession is context. Well, the obsessions I have in art are context, S shapes, and the dominance of flows. Like, I explained S shapes and the dominant. Well, I explained the dominance of flow. I mean, you don't need to explain S shapes. Everyone knows what an S looks like. Well, everyone who reads the letter S in their language knows what the S shape is. But the dominance of flow is the thing I explained with the river. That's another obsession I have, and you can apply that to form in general. You can apply it to sculpting and how shapes flow into one another. But it applies most directly in Groom. Like it's quite easy to use that, and then context is the third obsession. I think context is my newest obsession because it's the one that I finally put a word to. And once you put a word to one of your obsessions, you're able to actually hold on to it in a different way. At least that's my experience with it. Like whenever I've struggled with something for a long time, once I put an individual word to it, I tend to do a lot better. I need to move all of these up in that way, and that mouth needs to go up. Go that way, and the whole thing needs to go like that. I have no idea if that's the right amount. Probably isn't. Let's be honest. The cool S, the ancient S. You mean the one that has been showing up forever? Just to confirm, the one where you draw 3 lines and then connect them. Also, Oscar, what is it you're saying what at? The audio delay makes it really hard for me to know what exactly people are reacting to. Oh, not the audio delay, but the general stream delay. Because it's doubled for me, because by the time you guys see it, I'm further ahead in time. So it's really hard for me to remember. It's not doubled. It's just more, I guess you guys will get the same effect. It's just when I reply to you, because I almost always reply as soon as in the corner of my eye I see something move, and I'm like, reply. There's a video. There's a YouTuber called Let Me Know, who's absolutely amazing. I love his stuff, and he did a video on the S, and the earliest one he could find was I think it was a graffiti art book from 1972, but in the comment section someone found a design similar to the S, although I think people overhyped it as being the same S, because it's not. It's just a design that looks similar, but they found something that looks very, very similar in art from the 1400s, and so it's just how far back does this universal S go exactly? It's insane. Also, Oscar, if it's the S that you're talking about, let me find the universal S images. This motherfucker. This is the universal S. People from every fucking country know this S. And no one really knows why. No one really knows where it came from. I hate the fact this guy made it with his hands. It's a cool idea though. It's must be the first meme that a lot of people know about, right? Because I remember drawing that thing as a little kid, and that's not a unique memory. Most people remember drawing that thing as a little kid. You never heard of it? Oscar, you are one of the few. Because Germany definitely knows of the S. Definitely. Like even countries that don't have like Roman, is it Roman numerics? Those no, it's the numbers are Arabic, I think. But like I don't know what the letters come from. I swear it's like Roman numerals or something. Again, I'm really awful at this stuff, but oh, that needs to change. Sorry, I'm just distracting myself right now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like pretty much any country that has that shape of S will know that thing. But then countries that don't even have the letter S in their language still draw that shit. Like, oh yeah, you've seen it. Okay, yeah, it's people in every country. Like I think there was like that guy, let me know, he tried to find like examples of it in every country, and I think he found like genuine examples of it being drawn everywhere except like 5 countries in the world. Like it was ridiculous. Russia used it, China used it, Australia, America, Canada, England, everywhere. I'm gonna fix the mouth is a lot closer now. This still needs to move further that way, and that still needs to move further up. The sides are matched though. This needs to go up as well, actually. So you need to go up like that. Then you need to go up as well, weirdly. Just the corners apparently. Which could mean it's a depth issue, but I don't think it's a depth issue. And then that can go that way more. Is it just up? I think it's just up. Her lips feel a bit more pursed than mine. So this needs to go up a little bit. So let's just do that. And this needs to go like that. And then this still needs to go up just a tiny, tiny bit. The mouth shape feels so strange to me now. I'm going to need to do a pass where I just clean it up. Let's check this out. Also, my voice tried to crack there, which is weird because I'm 25 fucking years old. So I think the mouth is getting close enough for me to move on from it for a little bit, just give my eyes a little bit of a break. I will need to transfer the textures, I think, because there's no way this model is going to hold up the same way. So I'm going to need to take it into I'm going to take the model into ZBrush again to rebake the displacement, and then in fact I don't think I will need to rebake it. It should be fine. So again, I've not moved anything enough to need to change the UVs. Like ideally I should fix the UVs, but it's not big enough of a change for it to actually be a factor. Because the textures will move with the model, so it's like it's not too much of an issue. Next thing is this section of the ear, and then this bit is jumping out to me quite a lot. Well, the length of the bottom of both of these sides, and then why is that so far off? I matched these, so why did they not match in this rough? But yeah, so got that. So now it's just a case of getting the ear volume here right and the ear length right. So let's do that. Oh wait, that's the new one. Yeah, well it's the same anyway. But so ear length. That's the thing that needs to change now. Let's just save the scene.
Is Maya crashing? Come on. There we go. So, next thing was the length of the ears, which actually needs to be quite drastic. So let's just do this. It's not that drastic. It's drastic enough. Oh, that's in smooth mode. Cool. And then we need to get the length of this guy. So he needs to be quite a lot longer. So let's just get these. And so if we force it, that's going to stretch the topology quite a lot. So let's do this. Cool. And then we just need to grab you. I'm just going to pull you out as you are. Alright, so I'll need to move the earrings a little bit. Those normals are struggling a little bit, aren't they? Right. You need to be moved. There we go, that's better. Alright, so now over to the other ear. So let's grab you. Let's go on an adventure. So then in here, I think it's the inside corner of the ear that needs to be pulled down for this guy. So it's not the length that's wrong, it's this section that's wrong. So let's just do that. And just pull, nope, that's too big of an area. Need to grab some of this as well. So that, in theory, should be the last of the model changes for a while, unless I want to do the skull, which I really don't want to do the skull, but I kind of should. It's just, it breaks so many things, and I don't think the gain is overly worth it, to be honest. It's nice to have a break from the grooming. As much as I love grooming, sometimes it is a little bit tiresome with Xgen. Wait, have I drunk all my water already? I am absolutely, like, gulping water at the moment. How does 3ds Max hair and fur modifier actually hold up against Xgen? You assume too much of me. I have not used 3ds Max in years, and I never use the hair and fur tool, so I can't say. Although I do know that the guy that wrote it, Joe Alter, is the same guy that wrote Shave and Haircut, so I imagine it's pretty similar to Shave, in which case Xgen is generally a better package. Shave has some nice features, but Xgen is way more kind of, way more universal. A lot more people use it, partially because it's just included in Maya, but also because the way it handles clumping is quite nice and all that sort of stuff. Although Shave and Haircut 10, I think, came out not too long ago, or is coming out soon. And that's apparently like quite a big redesign, almost. That's a bit better. So now we need to fix this section of the ear. Our cheekbone needs to come in a little bit. Yeah, it does actually. Not cheekbone, sorry. The just below the cheek needs to come in a little bit. So you need to come in a little bit. Let's go one lower and make a bigger area and just pull it in. Something like that should do fine. Surely speaking, shouldn't that be an asymmetrical thing? Let's just grab a few of these. Just pull them in. Uh-oh. There we go. I've done hair cards. Yes, I don't like them. But I have done them. Oh, I'm in the wrong viewport. Kill. Oh, let's fix the ear while we're at it. That's what we're going to do anyway. So we just need to grab you, I think. You see how that's bending in quite a lot? I don't think that's accurate to what it's actually supposed to be doing. So let's just grab that and do that. So if it is being incredibly asymmetrical, it's kind of it's helpful just to do them individually. I feel like I'm back in Bangalore with all the horns outside. So let's put you back up there. I just need to let this do its thing for a second. So I'm going to move the jewellery just because it's throwing me off a little bit. I don't know why it's so far off. So I'm just going to do this in the 3D viewport. It's that one piece. Press up on the D-pad. Just going to manually put that in a position where it works. Generally speaking, if you can't match something up with the reference, that means that your model is wrong, but I guess we can put it there and tweak the ear shape. And then you, obviously there's no separate pieces for you. Just move that down. Do these need to move? They do need to move quite a lot actually. That needs to go all the way down here. And you need to go... I forgot how much fucking jewelry modeling there was to do on this guy. Oh, that's the button for X-ray. I didn't know there's a button for X-ray. And that one's just a diamond, right? What? There's a little bit of an issue. I'm not going to worry too much about matching those yet. So this needs to pull in quite a lot actually. So let's grab this edge and just go yoink. Yoink. Just grab you, rotate you slightly just to straighten it back up. And pull you in a bit. So let's test that out. IPR. Kind of just quickly zoom through these. Boop. Boop. My shoulder's still sticking up too much. Apparently it is. Quite a lot as well. That makes it feel a lot more broad, so I need to fix that. I think this line here just needs to follow that down really. So let's just go into U. And let's just select all of that. Fuck it, select U2, deselect U. Do something like that. Rotate down. Move down, move in. And then we're just going to need to move that into place. There you go. That's a bit more relaxed. So, next thing. Check the ref. I can't tell how much of that is cheek model. I think the cheek model's off still. So hard to get right. Looks like it's right. So I don't really want to touch it. So what about you? You're also out. You should be as visible, if not more. Whenever I do modelling, we always seem to get a few more viewers on the stream. You can tell that modelling is a lot more popular than grooming, that's for sure. Oh, I need to crack my back, but I've never been able to do it myself. Right, so we need to move the inside of the ear about a little bit. So let's do that. And then it's just in case of moving that, and then I think I'm happy. Because the rest is just getting the groom back on there. Also, that section of the ear is wrong. So let's do that as well. So this basically needs to go more like that. What else was there? Oh, that inside part of the ear, yeah. Let's just move that back into place as well. There we go. I'm also just going to pull this up slightly. So it's this section here. It needs to come outwards. Then we need to model meniscus in place, although we can do that once we've got the groom in the scene, because the meniscus is completely like doesn't affect anything. I forgot what the word for that is. I still can't believe how badly yesterday's stream went. It's kind of funny, really. Oh, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. So I need to move the earrings about. But I can do that once I've got the groom back on there. I think I'm going to start moving back to do the groom. Which means getting the groom onto this model to begin with. Which is going to be a glorious, glorious, horrible thing to do. I'm tempted to do it as a blend shape, because that's piss easy. I'm going to ask someone something. Question. If I blend shape a groomed model onto a new version of the model, delete history, will that cause any issues for the groom? Cool. I don't know if he'll see it. I've just messaged Frankino. Slightly off topic. Do you know if there's a way to add thickness to MD cloth sims without destroying the UVs? I mean, it depends on how you define destroying the UVs. I think the easiest way is literally just extrude it. If extruding it breaks the UVs for you, then what you could potentially do is duplicate the object, inflate it or deflate it, and then just bridge the gap between. Then you'll just have to UV the bridge between. Of course, you can just kind of curl the edges of the mesh a little bit so it looks like it's got a thickness but doesn't actually have a thickness. That's quite an old technique, but works well. Works well for games. They've been doing it for years. I need to move this down. That's a lot closer now, though. Also need to push this in a little bit. Yeah, that needs to be pushed in a little bit. It has got like a backwards curl in it. So I need to move that up and that down. And I also need to move the cheekbone out a little bit, I think. Wait, am I still rendering? Did I kill the render? Yeah. So, you need to be flatter. So I'm going to grab you to do that. Just pull that down. And I'm going to go in vertex by vertex and just tweak these around right now. Because I don't like the way that's looking. Cool. And we just need to drag, is it this bit? Up a little bit more. And there was something else. What was it? this bit slightly off. It needs a little bit more thickness just below that, and then this I have no idea. Let's just zoom in on the ref. I think this needs to pull out quite a lot. So this needs a little bit more volume just here. So let's just, actually, yeah, let's inflate it. Oh, let's not inflate it with that much. There we go. And this needs to be like pulled out quite a lot, right? Let's go into edge mode and grab this guy. Right, so I'm going to start a IPR render. I'm going to let this one cook for a little bit. I'm also going to go to the toilet. If you guys can send in any... is there anything that looks particularly off to you guys? Like, is there anything in the model that just doesn't seem right? I'm going to let this just cook for a little bit. And then obviously I can A/B it while it renders. But if there's anything that sticks out to you guys as wrong in the model, let me know now, because now's the best time to fix it. I'm not going to fix the skull volume just because it's just the amount of issues that will give us in terms of the amount of guides we need to fix. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to let it go. But yeah, I'll be back in a second though. I'm going to mute the microphone. Where's OBS? There it is. Right, one sec guys. Right, I'm back. Oh, right, so minimize this. Can you guys hear me okay? So I've never actually used the mute function on it before, so I don't know if anything's likely to break. Maybe the thickness of the eyelids on the bottom lids. This is still not right. It's pulled in too far. So that just needs to go like boop. There, you guys can hear me, cool. Is there anything that jumps out to you guys as wrong in the model? I guess this part of the neck's wrong. Needs smoothing in a little bit more, but I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. It's so low on my priority list. I'm going to fix that part of the ear. Although at this point we are getting pretty subtle on the notes, so I think once I've done this change, I'm going to start putting the groom back on it.
So anything else I want to fix? This is still not quite right as well. So it was that bit right there. Try and IPR again. And what I'm going to do is get, there it is, get session 18, put that here, and we'll see kind of all the changes together. Let's let this clean up a little bit. So that's the difference in today's stream so far. Obviously the ears are the biggest difference. The eyes moving actually helps a fair bit. The nose and mouth can give or take. The neck makes a pretty nice difference. She feels less manly now. There is something off-putting about the smaller eyes though. These ones are more accurate. I guess once I got eyelashes on there, I'll feel more like her, but there is something off-putting about that. Like, really off-putting about that. But yeah, I think that's me happy with the model for now. Maybe I can do more tweaks in the future. Oh, also seizure warning for this for this stream. I'm flashing back and forth quite a lot. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Alright, so let's kill this. So now let's start the long, horrible, horrible, horrible process of transferring a groom. So save that. Right, so that's saved. Let's select my mesh. There it is. And also, just for comparison, so differences aren't that huge. Like, this is the new one. They're not like night and day, but this sort of shit mounts up, you know. So let's delete the groomed model. I do feel like maybe the eyelids are too thick. Right, so I've got a lot of connections to delete on this guy, so let's go into a node editor. We need to assign just Lambert, I guess we'll do. So this, I'm wondering, where did all those go? So this is what I'm wondering, if it breaks or not, because I really don't know.
I'll disconnect it. So all I'm going to do is, I need to export this anyway, so let's go into UVs. So that's our map 1 UVs, that's fine. Text UVs, they're undisturbed. I don't know what would have disturbed them, but just in case, it's worth checking. Oh, top eyelid, where it connects to the eyeball. So where can I see eyeball? Which one? Sorry. Because I've got a feeling some of that is actually just eyelashes casting a shadow. I think that's lined up correctly. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, I think it's just the eyelashes casting a shadow. Also, Oscar, the node graphs that you were looking at there, that was basically all the textures for the scene. Right, so let's get this exported. File, no, sorry, cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. And then we need to export this to modeling, Maya, exports, head. Oh, that's where we put our OBJs, isn't it? Okay, so let's, I guess we should put it in here. Head sub D01. Oh, it's sub D0, isn't it? Cool. Current frame. UV right UV sets. Right world space. Yep, I think that's all fine. That's all fine, yeah. So export selection. Then it's going to go into one of my groom scenes. I think the latest one didn't have a groom, I think. Oh no, it does have a groom. So now is where we're going to get a little bit sneaky. I'm going to let it just convert all the things it wants to convert. I'm going to set this to show all descriptions. Just make sure they're all working. Takes its time on the last one because the last one's pretty dense. So I'm just checking to make sure it all works, which is no reason for it to not work, but it's worth checking anyway. So it looks like everything's in place. So I'm gonna delete this from the scene. Cool. I'm going to import my cache Alembic, import Alembic, go to modeling, Maya exports head. Cool. I'm going to, which one was the new one? So the new one is with the lower ears. So select those two, form blend shape. Cool. Delete the history on that. Delete that. So got everything in my scene still. XGen's not in the scene anymore. I'm just going to go into my XGen folder. So go in here, go into collections. I'm going to temporarily rename this to temp. And then I'm going to import collection. And I'm just going to import the collection it saves out with the scene. I'm going to see if that works. If not, then I can just export the collection from previous scene. That's fine, no big deal. So we want projects, personal work, FKA twigs, groom, go all the way to the bottom, and we are in scene 58, so we'll get that. And then import with patch bindings, that's fine. And what that will do is create the original folder, which is why we rename this, because it would have wanted to overwrite it otherwise. Import operation failed, it will always say that. The question is, did it actually fail? Looks like it may have done. Oh, and that's just guide colors. I don't know why these guides are black, but let's not worry about that. So it's put a 1 at the end of all these, which is not reassuring. So that means something was in the scene. But let's try showing them anyway. The only reason I can do this method in theory is because I've got same UVs, same topology, same everything other than world space. So in theory this should be able to just read in and everything will just go into place. Guides will move subtly, but not enough to be a major issue. Just a case of tweaking angles and stuff. Maybe we should have shown the grooms one at a time though. This is taking longer than it did, which is a bit worrying. Yeah, something's definitely broken. I'm still really curious as to why it's added the _1 at the end of all these. Like, where is the object in my scene that's adding that 1? Because that would just be a namespace clash where two objects have identical names, but there shouldn't be anything with an identical name. I've got a sneaking suspicion our entire model is going to be covered in fur, because it's not going to have been able to find a few maps. And technically the easiest thing we could have done is literally blend shape the groom, blend shape the groomed model onto the new model without deleting the blend shape or removing the groom. The problem with that is if you want to stack changes, it gets a little bit confusing.
This is taking a while, so it's definitely something's going to have died. Let's hope it's not the bung groom at the back, because that one has really high density. Yeah, everything's broken. That took a really long time to generate. Everything is broken. Okay, so that method's not going to work for some reason. So, delete that from our scene. I'm going to reopen 58. Don't save. Oh wait, this will be broken now. Why has that rebuilt everything? That shouldn't have been able to rebuild that. At least from my understanding of how it works. Have I broke all my versions of the Groom? That is the question of the day. So, I'm going to duplicate this guy. Copy, paste. I'm going to keep the temp one, no matter what happens. And then rename this. So this one will have everything in it still. And we'll reopen. Yeah, let's create a new scene actually. And then reopen. Let's go with 58. And eyebrows. It should show. Yeah, it does. So how cheeky can we get then? This has everything. So let's just export our collection. Let's go into CG stuff, projects, nope. Projects, FKA twigs, XGen, collections. I'm just going to put this in here called exports. And then I'm going to, can I grab the name of this? I can't. Rename, copy, back into Maya. Cool. Now we need to go into our peach fuzz, grooming. How do you save the grooming? Description. Export grooming. And I guess, sure. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, let's export that. And then just gonna have to go into here, go to where are you? Peach fuzz, groom. Yeah, it's got everything in there. So I'm just gonna duplicate this, or copy it, I guess. Go to my exports. Grooming. Wait, peach fuzz. Paste. Just so I've got backups for all that stuff. Right, so now I can try deleting this again. So is there a way is there anything in here that would clash with the naming? I don't think the extra globals count. Window, node editor. Search. Extra. Let's search. Okay, so let's just go back objects only. Going to increment the safe by 1, so that puts us on 59. Cache, Alembic, import Alembic. Then so you, then you generate, no, deform, blend shape. Yep, that's fine. Delete you. Next-gen, no, channels. So that's 59. Is there a way for me to search out all XGen files in the scene? XGen library. Those aren't XGen groups, are they? Cool if they are. Right, so let's go XGen, import collection out. So here's where we go back and we know that this is working. So I'm going to delete the temp again and copy paste and then just rename that again to temp. And then we can just delete him. Import collection. I wish it would remember my default place. Let's go twigs. And then it's in XGen, collections, exports, U. Import operation failed. But what I'm wondering now is, can we save this scene with, oh, it's got the description 1 shit again. Why is it doing that? Are there namespaces in the scene? Let me try deleting that. New scene. Cache. Import Alembic. Let's grab you exactly as you are. import you. Go projects, FKA twigs. So there's nothing in this scene, there's no reason for it to break. So adding that _1 again, or that 1 at the end. Well, at least I know it's the same in different scenes. It's consistent in its brokenness. You can let it close now, please. Are you dead? I'll give it a second. Kill this task. So what I'm going to try is a bit hacky. Let's delete that again. No. No. Delete you. Open 59. Cool. So, import the Grim. Pretty sure this is the right model. Check with the, yeah, okay, it's the right model. Import this Grim again, which is never going to cease to do this, is it? Is there a way to get the path of this guy? Properties. Import that in, and this will import a broken Grim, and that I'm fine with so far. So then I'm going to save my broken Grim, and that should generate a .xgen file in the scenes, which it did. So now I'm going to close this scene. I'm going to reinstate our action folder. So these have all been renamed to 1, which is a bit frustrating. But I can delete you. I can rename you to call. And then again, just in case shit breaks, paste it. Why didn't I just copy paste it to begin with? But that has everything back to normal. Reopen our scene. And this will be broken. I think. I expect it to be broken. What happens if I save the scene? Oh, there we go, that's what happens. Let's delete all these. So I'm going to close this. I'm gonna manually edit that action file. I'm experimenting right now. This isn't the way that I know to do it. But surely I can do all this shit. Right, so I'm going to look for the word description. I don't know if this will work. I'm really curious to see if it will work, to be honest. Cool. Cancel that. Save. And then I'm going to search for C1. Next. Okay, so I knew there'd be something else. Cool. And save this. So now I'm going to open this in a text editor as well. So now let's search for desk 1 and new. Next. One of the advantages of really clean naming is you can do this sort of shit. Fuck looking for these manually. And technically just search the groom name, but you'd have to do it one by one. You could probably write a script, well, you definitely could write a script to do this, but I am not a scripter. I just know how paths work. What was your strategy to fix it? What is in yesterday's broken shit or today's thing? Because currently what I'm trying to do is just manually repap everything so that it's not forcing the name 1 on everything. There's a lot more of these than I remember. Oh, because it's a... Oh, am I doing this per guide? No. I'm doing this on each guide. It has to be search and replace in the whole thing. It has to be. Search with Bing. Replace, find what, and replace with... Why didn't I just do that to begin with? Match case. So let's make sure that's working. Okay, replace all. Cool. Save my scene. Oh, save that. So now when I open this, technically it should try to load everything named with desk, not description 1, and it should look into this folder which they are all named description in. Let's see if this works. Please work. Please work. It does not work. Unknown ref. Foster parent 1. There's one guide that's ruining all of this for us. One fucking guide. I really want to see if I can get this to work. So edit, search and replace. Okay, so we can't find any. Cool. So close that again. Open with Notepad. Replace. So there's nothing in there. That should be working, but it doesn't. Error reading file. What's the error? Is it all one guide? I'm going to search for this guy. Control F. So what could have broken here? I mean, I was going to delete it anyway, but... Find next. Just delete both of these, see if it works. Find next. Find next. So we've lost one guide. So now the question is, will this just move on to the next guide now? If this doesn't work, then I'm just going to have to do regular transfer. Fatal error. Okay, yeah, I broke the scene. Okay. That's annoying. Okay, so let's go to... Come on. Let this load its thing. I was really hoping I was onto something with that deleting stuff. It's good to experiment from time to time, as long as you're not doing it on production assets. Like, don't do that sort of shit on actual production work. I'm just going to go to 58. And I'm just going to do the oldest trick in the book. So this one will have a working exchange room. Hopefully. So let's go to a groom, like the eyelashes, where we would see movement. Cool, that one generates nice and quick. So I'm just going to import Alembic, get you. So modeling, Maya, exports, head, get this guy. I'll rename that to blend. And then select you, deform, blend shape. And then I can just go into the attribute editor, go to blend shape, set you to 1. And then I can just, did it move automatically? No, it didn't. Cool. So let's go into Xgen. There we go. Technically, that's the easiest way to transfer a groom, but I don't think I can delete the history on that now. That's the problem. So let's just show every groom. I'm just going to hide this. So hopefully nothing too major is broken. So now what we need to do is just do a test render. So what I want to test now is, can you, yes, we definitely want to overwrite it because it's fucked. Can you delete history on this model? Because it's got a blend shape now, and that's not good long term. You do need to get rid of it. Can I delete the history, and will it break anything if I do? So I'm going to do a IPR render of this. I'm going to open U, and let's get a progression image up. And let's put you there. So this render will take a little bit of a while, I think. If it starts. There we go. So I'm just going to let this do its thing. Let's go to toilet again because I'm drinking a lot tonight. So I'll be back in one moment, guys.
Fuck, I forgot to turn the microphone on. Okay, so basically what I was just saying is I tried deleting the history and then was really shocked that it continued to work. Like, really shocked that it worked. And so what I was just saying then is, like, I was warned against deleting the history on a model with XGen. And then Frankino commented, and he's one of the people who's mentioned not deleting history. So Frankino, what's the reason not to delete history? What should have broken? Or what will break in the future? Sort of selection to Alembic. Right, your resets. Also, I apologize for how long my stream was silent, guys. If you ever see my camera start moving, now if you edit the scalp, does the hair follow? I don't have any scalp meshes. Let me just generate one of these again. Surely something should be broken. No, it still works. What the fuck? You've never had problems doing it? Ah, there has to be a reason though. Because otherwise what everyone would do is always blend shape. Like every time they'd use wrap or something and blend every single time they'd do anything. I guess if you have a topology change or UV change and you need to keep it, then you can just do a I guess topology change, you just have to build it again, but still. Action is black magic. I would say it's black magic as much as it's fucking voodoo. Because it definitely curses everyone who works on it. Oh god, it's Rebecca. Oh god. She coming. Right, so let's import the Alembic. I'm genuinely shocked that it's working though. Cache Alembic temp. So we need to, what would have moved? So I moved the teeth. So we're going to need to go into temp, delete the teeth. The gums we didn't move, which is a mistake. And caruncles we moved. So we need to get those teeth and caruncle, move those over here. Meniscus we need to move. Jewelry, I'm just going to replace everything. So let's grab you. And same with the eyes actually. Let's just delete that too. And I'll need to reassign all the shaders, which might take some time. Cool. So now I can delete this. And now I need to go through and assign shaders to everything. So let's start with teeth. Assign existing material. PXR. Teeth mat. Caruncle. PXR, I think I called it fleshy. No? Oh god, what did I call the caruncle? Temp fleshy. There you go. Eyes. We need to get the cornea first. Assign the pixel cornea material. Oh, sclera. Oh, that's annoying. I named them differently. I called one of them sclera for the material, and one of them cornea. Amateur. Where's iris? There's iris. Lens. Where's lens mat? Did I not name the lens mat? Apparently not.
So let's, the rough just had the iris material assigned. Wait, no it didn't. I haven't deleted unused materials from my scene yet. The rough, I need to go in and actually, this is why you should name your shaders. I've got quite a few that I haven't named yet. Pixel surface, right, so. I'm lost. I can't remember what a lot of these materials are for. I'm gonna go back into the version 60 scene and do something that I'm massively overdue to do. So again, let's just double check things are working. So let's go into here, edit, delete unused nodes. Okay, so I need to find any surfaces that don't have a name, which are 2 of them. So let's check with that one first. Select assigned objects, and what has it? Bounce card. So that's a bounce card mat. So Pixar bounce card mat. And then next one was this guy. Come on. Set the texture material. And this one is the lens mat. Pixar lens mat. Cool. And then what else? Is there any others that aren't named? Temp fleshy. I hate that word, but I have to use it. Everything else is named. Right, so save the scene.
Should I even bother assigning subsurface scattering to microfibers? What, on cloth? No, microfibers you just want to use a hair material, right? Right, so I've got the scene saved with everything named. What does the rough have on it? It does have the iris mat, okay. So now let's get the cache, import Alembic. We want to replace the eyes and the jewelry. So let's just get those. FKA twigs. Then go into here, get rid of the crunkle and the teeth. Nothing else got moved. So let's go into temp, teeth, and crunkle. Drag those over. And we can delete this guy. And then we just need to go through and assign them again. So, and then we need to move the meniscus. So we've got temp fleshy, got teeth, which we need to retopologize because that mesh. Teeth mat. And so that's that done. I need to name the crunkle mesh as well, but that's still a temp mesh. I've got a feeling it'll stay a temp mesh until the end though. Then the eyes need to go in and get the corneas and assign the scleromat, which I'm going to fix. I'm going to fix that right now actually. Cool. Iris, so let's assign that to the rough as well. Where is it? Iris. Cool. And then the lens. Assign. Where are you? Oh, I'm literally on it. Right. Right, jewelry. That's the next one. Face trackers. They have the gold mat. Is that existing? They have the. Where are you? Gold mat.
Need to name that as well. In fact, let's just go around and select them. That's all the golds. This side needs you. That's not gold. That is gold. And that's gold too. Assign existing. And then we just want gold matte and all those. Right. So then this guy is bronze matte. This guy is bronze matte. Anything else is bronze? I don't think so. So let's assign the bronze matte. Then we need the stones to be named. So that's one. I think these are all blue. I can check the ref, I guess. Blue, 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 blue. Cool. Blue gem. Or gem blue, I guess. Then same on the other side. So they were diamonds. I think these were blue. Let's check actually. No, they weren't. So let's use that one that's blue on this side. Let's have more than one pixel, shall we? Ref. Go for high res. Blue, blue, blue. Oh, and they're blue as well. Don't remember that. And then everything else is diamond. Sorry if people are putting stuff in the chat right now. I'm not looking. I'm currently trying to remember all this shit. Assign existing material. Gem blue. And I just need to assign diamond to all the others. Okay, so that's diamond matte. Then let's hide Xgen for a second. And let's do a super quick save. Oh, I've missed a lot of messages. Like Super Tiny Scud has. Oh, okay, I haven't missed that many messages. Fake it with a bit of Fresnel. Yeah, Fresnel's your boy. So let's just do a quick render on viewport. It's taking longer than I expected. Okay, so they're all done. And then hopefully the other side doesn't take as long. That was painfully slow. Oh, I didn't assign the diamond material to the two on this side. Let's see if all the others are done. Fresnel, let me get an image for you. Oh, what happens when you sculpt the geo will the hair follow? You mean like displacement sculpt? Or if I was to literally sculpt the model right now? Because I can find out for you. I can test it. Right, so I need to assign the diamond material, but other than that, they're all assigned. So let's just do that. So grab you, and assign diamond matte. Yeah, there's a delay. I answered it. I thought I answered it the first time, but I must have misread it. So hoop. So we got hoop A on both sides. So let's just assign hoop A material. We got hoop D on both sides. So let's assign hoop D material. Then we got C on this side. C. And we got B on this side. B. And we just need to model a meniscus in place. So this will just be a super hacky push into place kind of thing. So let's just grab the whole thing, move it that way. And then let's just go into edge mode, big soft select. I can do a proper pass later. I just want to get this done so I can like start my render for the night. It's gonna intersect, it's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna work. Well, it's gonna intersect anyway because it's water, but still. Pull you back. Pull you back. This is pretty gross modeling. That's good enough for now. Just get tonight's render out. This one didn't move much, so it should be pretty simple to get in place. I think that's pretty much it, actually. Cool. Save that. And then let's show you. Cool. Then panels, render cam. Cool. And then IPR. Then I can delete, or close this, and close this. Just gotta wait for that new render to start. There we go. Bang on time. Let's just move that to between these. Let's leave that to start going. Yeah. Give it some time. So how are you guys doing? Having a good day? Oh, did I forget to turn the fucking skin shader on again? Fuck's sake. Alright, okay. Kill that. Where is he? Got the head. There you are. I'll shoot at her. Cool. Set you to 0. Set you to 1. Cool. Now let's try that again. Wait, Frankino, was you working until 15 minutes ago? Drag that there again. The fact that Little Man had to ask that question. Frankino's in London. He's in the same time zone as me. Yeah, as you just said, like in the UK. That's hilarious. So it's not a night and day change, but the model is now more accurate. Oh, it's good that you're doing personal stuff. I mean, I guess I'm still working by that metric. Got a link on Facebook from Frankino. Let's check it out. I'm gonna mute my mic just in case. Oh, not mute my mic, mute my speakers. Oh wow. Is that what you've been spending your evening fixing? Yeah, the eyelids solving themselves thing. I think it was just shadowing from the eyelashes that it needed. Yeah, eyelashes hide a lot, like they really do. Like, I mean, how if I get these two together, so without groom, with groom. Like, well, there's also meniscus, but the groom just beds things in. It's one of the main reasons, well, not one of the main reasons, but it's a really solid reason that every model should have groom, where there is actually groom in real life. Like, don't just do cards and that sort of shit, like, do actual groom. But yeah, it does quite a lot of work on its own. Adding a meniscus also helps blend things quite a lot. So I'm going to put you back there. Put you, I guess you can stay here actually. So that's basically what we started today with, even though it's like from over a month ago, or almost a month ago, this stream. Ultimately the model hadn't changed, so we moved the eyes in closer, then we pulled the screen left eye in a little bit, then we enlarged the iris slightly, then enlarged it more and rotated it out, then enlarged it more. Then we fixed the neck to some extent. Then we tweaked the cheekbone, chin, nose moved more, added jewelry. Anything else change in that bit? Nope. Moved the teeth, moved the mouth again, bottom of the ears, lower cheeks, jewelry, and then the screen left ear. More tweaks in that ear, and more tweaks in that ear. And that very quickly adds up. Not a single one of those changes was big. Well, arguably a nose, but relative. but that all adds up quite a lot. I'm glad I spent today doing that. It also gave me a break from grooming. It's still not perfect. There is some lighting shit that needs to be done. She has like a bottom light on her. But yeah, there we go. So I'm pretty much going to call the stream there, guys. Just because, well, there's not much we can achieve in minus 2 minutes. So yeah, I'll end the stream here. More people came along than I expected. Thank you for everyone who did. But yeah, if anyone has, I'll hang around for another minute, I guess, if anyone has any questions. If not, next stream, I'm gonna not do a stream tomorrow because I want to kind of relax, play some guitar, and maybe play some video games or something. Back to streaming on Thursday, where we will work on grooms that are on the front of the head. So like, you know, you've got the hairline that we need to do quite a lot of work on. Now that we've matched the model a lot closer, we can actually match things like eyelashes better. We can match the eyebrows better. So we'll match those up a bit closer. Model's still not perfect, but at least now we know we can just do the blend shape shit. I'm also really tempted to do the warping on the earrings. I think that will do quite a lot for us. But yeah, so I'm still debating, should I fix the fucking alright. Should I fix the temples volume wise, because they are way off. Same on the top of the head, they are way off, but it's just so much to fix. Technically I should do that, but I don't know. We'll decide. I'll decide tomorrow if I want to do that, and then maybe the next stream will be modeling and then fixing the groom back up again, or maybe it'll just be grooming. Who knows? But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, guys, and hopefully see you on Thursday. Bye.